So what I'm saying is, shall we proceed to test the plans which we configured? The health saving child, spouse, dependent?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So let me see whether I configure the benefit plan, benefit event. So how do you want, sir, benefit event? For the 3 plans, spouse, child, employee, do you want to give opportunity to an employee with 3 different events, or 1 event only they can select either of the plans? Okay, let's proceed with 1. So I'm going to group the child, employee, spouse. Oh, worker selectable. Let's say 10 days of submission. So standard configuration, 8 enrollment, event rule. Okay. So the name currently I'm giving as generic, but as you mentioned, it can be marriage. It can be, if it is a child, it can be adoption or childbirth. If it is spouse, it can be marriage. Okay. So, but I'm giving a generic name. So with this event, so we're going to allow the employee to choose child, employee, spouse. Standard one, on event, on coverage begin date. So the question whatever you asked, his answer is here. But as I mentioned, we will cover during this session. Go to the coverage rules. Benefit coverage type. Spending account, I'm sorry. Voluntary, spouse, child, employee. Benefit plan changes. Can select any of these plans. Dependents allowed. Additional dependents allowed. Dependent types allowed. Child, spouse, domestic partner, spouse. Defaulting rules can select anyone. Default corrections are paid. Normally, for standard plans, we use only these two, sir. Loss of coverage also we'll use if you want to remove the plan from an employee through during removals. I will discuss. So far, we're talking about assigning plans. Okay, so just grouped with the standard configuration. Any questions here?
No questions here.
Thank you. Proceeding. I'll quickly check the plan year definition whether all our these three plans have been assigned or not. Insurance plans
Yeah, I think
we
did
already
that.
assigned.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sir. Now, as usual, we'll proceed for testing. Then after, I will talk about more interesting topic. I'm sure you like the topic. Have you heard about passive events?
I've heard about it. Yeah,
In
I
the topic?
definitely don't have any experience on that.
Okay, no worries. I will cover the topic today. That for sure it will come for benefits because especially for USA. I will explain. Let's proceed for testing this one. A question to you, sir. Since just one, two. Now we have three plans, right? One is spouse. Another one is child. Another one is employee. And let's say spouse plus child. Now the requirement is if employee selects spouse plus child, employee should not select child enrollment. If employee select child enrollment, employee should not select child in the this event. Okay, what we can.
Mm-hmm. So on the voluntary, if the employee selects, for medical employee only, they still can
Okay.
select voluntary life for both spouse and child, even though they're not participating in the plan, but they'll have to add a beneficiary, so they'll have to add the dependent and the spouse information as a beneficiary.
Right. Okay. Any idea like if I want to restrict, if you select this, you're not supposed to enroll child. If you already enroll child here, you're not supposed to allow to enroll the child in another event.
Okay.
So since we created three different plans, correct? What we have to do? Any idea?
No.
We discussed which is cross plan dependency.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So in this coverage test, whenever multiple events are there, for sure we may get these requirements, sir. So please practice this one. Let me know if you want. I can recap. No worries.
Okay.
Okay. So, let's proceed to testing this one. Reactions. Change benefits. Reason. The one we configured. Family insurance. Let's set 1 day past so that we can see the result. All three employees eligible. So all three are available to assign. Submit. Open. Let's get started. So which one would you like to enroll? So you want to enroll the child, or you want to enroll the spouse, or only employee? So let me go with this spouse. Select, continue. In the next step, it will ask the dependent, coverage. So you remember, sir, you said if you are selecting a spouse, 5,000 increment by 50 lakhs.
Yep.
All these are available. Employee can choose what are the option they want. But I understand your concern. Maximum should be defined. That, as I said, we'll still explore. Don't worry.
Okay.
Let me select a coverage. 15,000. 15,000 multiplied by base rate. Logic is. Remember in coverage type given, a calculation where given should be. Oh, sorry, this is amount based, right? Flat. Okay.
Yep.
So this is a she's a spouse. Save. Let me enroll child also. Child. Select. Child, I think 10,000 flat, I believe. So there the child is currently available for Logan. I will select Megan McNeil. Save. See here 10,000 flat. So it doesn't ask you to give the coverage. Let me show. You remember, sir, we have given only one coverage, 10,000 flat per child. Let me show again. Manage. Select, you have selected. Confirm and continue. If you see here, okay, the total amount, flat amount for child. For spouse, you can increment. For child, it's a flat. Employee, select. Coverage for employee, increment by 10K, 50,000, let's say. And here, if we have primary beneficiary information, but when you're doing for spouse, when you're doing for child, we don't have this option. But when you're doing for an employee, we have this option. Any reason?
Well, you need for the. I mean, you can have it, but it's not a mandatory for the beneficiaries. We can make it mandatory.
Made mandatory. Correct, sir. All right. Only for employee. That's why we have this.
Yeah.
Spouse 100% eligible. These are look simple, but sometimes it takes a day to debug. Why, something like that. Okay, we have given all the three coverages, review and sign in. Submit. If you want to see the statement, it is not configured. What are the enrollments employee so far has been made, you can see all the data here. Okay. Now my question is, employer contribution, from where it is coming?
I have no idea. That's what I was looking at too.
Right. Calculated coverage is okay. We have only specified, but how come employer contribution is bringing 50,000 for and 2,50,000 and 7,50,000 for this person?
So I think we might have entered that, but.
Right. I think you're looking for this value, right? Maximum limit. No, that is a different. That is a coverage.
Would have been that the maximum limit that I was looking at would have been like right where the calculated coverage is. But of course, the employee doesn't have to select that, 250. They can select 50,000.
Yeah.
If the question is when an employee enrolling in the plan first time elects more than 250, then the calculated coverage should show 250, and the additional will not show up until it gets approved from the carrier, which is Lincoln. Once that it gets approved, then the benefit administrator goes into Workday under manage or maintain EOI, and then approves it, and then that coverage amount will reflect the correct amount, which will be in that case will be more than 250.
Correct. Makes sense. Agree. Let me drill down further. Okay. Even I want to understand from there where this is bringing the employer contribution.
Yeah.
$10,000 up to $50,000. 2,50,000. Calculated coverage is 50,000. Coverage is 50,000. 2,50,000. 5 times. Okay, 5 times is taken. 5 into 5, 2,50,000. For him, 15,000 multiplied by 5. Okay, got it, sir. So whenever we're giving the plan, you remember we have selected multiply by 5 times. Okay, multiply by 5 times, it's taking it as what are the coverages here you're giving, it multiply by 5. Okay, it doesn't mean employer has to be contribute, but this amount, as you mentioned, it has to show as a maximum limit, maximum amount the employee can get. Whatever he's contributing, for example, here he contributing 10,000. 10,000 multiplied by 5 times, 50,000 is the coverage amount. It's not to be supposed to be employee contribution. You remember you asked me, can we put a maximum upper limit? Correct. So if you can put that amount, it may be disappear. Now what happens? System automatically picking up. If any risk happened to an employee, multiply by 5 times it has to be paid. That's what it is process. But might be if we can put upper limit, these values might be changed.
Can you go back to that where we did that 5 times?
Oh yeah, definitely. So whenever creating this insurance coverage type, where is it?
I don't remember doing 5 times. It was only 2 times. Maybe
3
I'm
times?
wrong.
Okay.
That's what I remember, but I could.
Even no, I'm also on your same page. Even I don't have a concrete answer, but let's give it a try. Somewhere I selected 5 times, I think. This is the flat amount. Multiply by 5. We gave 0.
We never selected any multiplier, yeah. But then also, that would have been under coverage type. That's an employer contribution. That doesn't.
No. I agree with your statement. So as I mentioned, it should be upper limit. If you configure the maximum coverage, you may not see that value, sir. But we are not configured for insurance coverage. At the end, if something happens, it will goes from the vendor side. It's showing now it as employer contribution. Employer is going to pay that much amount if you contribute this amount. So I'm also a little unclear here from where it is calculating 5 times. Whenever we create this, here we'll give coverage start, coverage end, increment. But how come it's calculating 5 times? Let's troubleshoot this. Interesting. Let me take your requirement once again. Did you do practice on this plan anytime, sir?
Do I practice
I mean, you
on?
have these plans by any chance?
I do.
I don't know. Did you edit these plans or added any amounts as part of practice?
No, I didn't know. I didn't even.
Okay, it's really strange to me. No problem. Let's troubleshoot. These are all good learnings, actually. Sometimes what happens, dates might be one day past, I will select. Or I think I have an answer, sir, but let's see. You got it?
You change it to 10, and that
It's
changed
calculated 10 times of your coverage. Yeah, 10 times of your coverage.
Oh, that's employer contribution. Is that employer cost?
Cost. Yeah, it's not rate, it's cost. From there, it's calculating 5 times. Or now, if you see 10 times we have given, it's picking up 10 times.
Could you
10
okay.
times. Yeah.
So you need to
Or if you don't,
0 for not to have any costs
yeah,
associated with it.
exactly. If you don't want, then what you can do is, I mean, there's no, you can make it as 0 automatically. What are the coverage here employee has selected, that will be, employer will pay the amount directly to the benefit provider, Lincoln, some amount. Good.
Okay, is there a way to show the employer cost though? I know it's showing employee costs.
But okay, just a sec. I will go again. So your question is, you want to say like some fixed amount, correct?
Yeah, employer cost. So this is saying employer cost, but then it's calculating it employer contribution. It doesn't say anything about.
Okay, so let me tell you one thing, sir. Actually, but I had to come back again. But my comment in my experience, calculations wise, we have bugs in Workday. What Workday recommends, since the coverage is taken care by a third party vendor, okay, employee will see the vendor's website, what is the coverage available. You hide the contributions. To make it simple, if you think the, for example, in this scenario, what happens, employee paying only $5, but here it's showing as 50,000 US dollars for you, correct? And the
Yeah.
$5 is paying to whom? To the benefit vendor, correct? Not to any employee. What you do is, sorry, hide the employer contribution here to avoid confusions. Now employee can see what is the coverage. How much employee is contributing will be tracked by the vendor application. Okay, so these values we will hide whenever you think the calculation is not correct, he is not contributing. I will check on this. I'm not sure it's a concrete answer it is to hide the value or why it is calculated multiplies. I will check on this. Any other questions on this?
No question now.
Okay. Right. Shall we proceed with passive event?
Sure.
Okay. Just give me a sec. So passive event rule is very important and interesting. What does it mean important and interesting? There will be certain insurance plans, especially healthcare plan. Okay, in this healthcare plans, what happened? Normally, employee will give benefits to employee plus spouse plus child. If child age is greater than 24 or 26, child is no longer eligible for the healthcare. That's true, right? After 24 or 26, child is no longer eligible for healthcare plan. Now, assume you have 10,000 employees. 10,000 employees has 8,000 childs. And can we keep an eye on each and every employee when the child age is going to be 24 so that you need to remove the plan manually?
No, that'll be tough.
Can we do on daily basis?
No.
It's very tough, right? It will take quite. So I will tell, traditionally what we have done in the year of 2013 and 14, we used to create a report. That report will track the change, will pick up the employees who's ever met the age as of today 24, and it will give the report to the manager and benefit provider, ben partner or admin. So then with the help of an inbound EAB, they will remove the plans. That's how they used to do. Okay, is there any other way can we automate? Answer is yes, we can automate. How? The answer is passive event. So for this, first what we have to do is you have to identify which age group you want to remove the plan. I want to remove less than 24. Okay, less than 24. Whom you want to remove the plan? Child. Okay. First step, create dependent eligibility rule. Second step, create passive event. Third step, run or schedule passive event rule. Third thing, generate passive event alerts. Generate passive event rules. Oh, sorry, events. So these are the 5 steps we have, sir. And these 5 steps, to make it simple, what is passive event is nothing but if you want to remove a plan automatically from an employee, or you want to assign particular plans automatically for a particular employee, for employees, we can use this passive event setup. Okay, quickly I will show in the tenant. I hope this trend will help and support on this one. Create dependent, create first step, benefit eligibility. I'm sorry, dependent, right? Child is nothing but dependent. So dependent. Okay. Name it. So here, relationship. Child. This works. Greater than or equal to 24. Okay. Before I'm further proceeding, I want to understand who are all eligible for this rule, whom we are going to remove the plan. I can create a report, or I can select these filtered actions, benefits, view benefits. Okay. Oh, you can test here by selecting this. You can do a test. When you select the dependent details here, it will tell you the dependent has met this eligibility rule or not as of today. If you want to test for one or two dependents to proceed further. Okay. Yeah. The next step is passive event rule. Next the task, create passive event rule. Name it as okay. Yeah,
Okay.
this we have not created. I'm not sure which plan dependents has. I'm going to select all the plans for testing. Okay.
Why do you have to create a event rule to remove dependent child? If you're creating a passive event, shouldn't that automatically remove it without having to create an event?
You have to, no, sir. You have to, what happens here to give an overview. Anyhow, we have to do some setup for this. I thought we'll go with existing. It doesn't work. We have to do setup. No problem. We'll pick up in next session. But let me explain at high level. First thing, you have to identify the employees whom you want to remove with the help of eligibility rule. Step 1. Step 2, you will create passive event. Okay. And you will assign the rule here and the event here, benefit group. And here, would you like to inform the dependent saying that you are removing the plan? Okay, when do you want to inform? 1 day before, 2 days before, 4 days before, or same day? You will select. For example, 2 days before I want, or 2 weeks. What do you want to inform? What message you want to send him? You will do this. You will select this value, and then you have to schedule this passive event. So what happens every month? It will run, identify the employees whosoever met 26 and greater than, remove the plans automatically. That's how it works. But we need to do some setup. I thought to go with existing data. I hope it doesn't work. We need to create a reports first to identify who is greater than equal to 24. And then we have to see in what benefit plan they have been enrolled. And we need to create certain benefit events, enrollment event rules, and all these setups what I discussed. Can we pick up this one in tomorrow?
Sure, that works. Thank you.